What do you know? What do you know? Man, I know I got a story for y'all. I probably had my worst week as a lease operator. It was the only word it was just brutal. It was brutal. So I'm gonna give you the numbers on it, and then I'll give you the story as to how we got there. So last place I was at was Aurora, Colorado, and which is basically the Denver area. I did a lot of load searching while I was en route there, and once I decided to take that load to Aurora, Colorado, I kept looking and just never was finding anything that I liked. There was some pretty decent loads coming out of there going back towards like Salt Lake and Washington and stuff like that, but I wanted to get back down towards the south or back to the Midwest, and kind of hang out in those areas until I was ready to go home for the weekend. But it really wasn't anything coming out of there that really interests me. To be honest, like for me, I'm not a big fan of hauling heavy, cheap freight. I know some people will haul it to get out of an area. I myself, on the other hand, I would rather not. I mean, if they don't want to put any money on that heavy freight, it can sit. That's just kind of how I feel about it. I'll deadhead out of an area and go get something somewhere else. And that's what I did. So I deadheaded from Aurora, Colorado to Grand Island, Nebraska. I don't remember how many deadhead miles it was, but picked up a load in Grand Island, Nebraska that was going to Oklahoma City. I've hauled these loads before. It said it weighed 35,000. My experience in the past, they all say they weigh 35,000, and usually they're like extremely light loads. This time it was not. I hooked onto this trailer and I went to pull it out of its hole that it was in, and I knew it was all there. It was every bit of 35,000. So that was not a good sign from the get-go. But anyway, so load from Grand Island, Nebraska to Oklahoma City. It paid $936.94 to the truck. Gross pay on that load was $1,262.55. So I kept about 74% of that load. Now, that was the only load that I hauled for the week. There was other things that led up to it. That wasn't the only load I was planning on hauling, but that was the only load that I hauled for the week. So with all of my miles, 917 total miles, and I averaged 7.6 miles to the gallon. Like I said, I was probably every bit of 35,000, and most of the way I was straight into the wind. So that's $1.02 per mile. $936.94. I ran 917 total miles. $1.02 per mile for the week. Just brutal. Now, that was not all I was planning on doing, but I got to the receiver, and about 2 hours into unloading, I wasn't feeling anything going on, so I went back to see, how close they was to getting me unloaded. And first thing I noticed was they only had about an eighth of the trailer off. So I was like, great, this is not going to be good. But at that same time, I also noticed that they had punched a hole in the roof of my trailer. I asked the guy that was sitting there taking a break, and he said the gentleman on the forklift stuck the forklift through the roof of the trailer. And I was like, well, that's not good. So at this point in time, I wasn't sure how to deal with it, so I got back in my truck, started making phone calls to find out what I needed to do. And long story short, it took them about 7 hours to unload me. I took the trailer to the trailer maintenance, told me to take it to a TA or a Petro, which was, I think I can't remember which one was which, but that was the closest place to me, and to see if it could be patched. So that's what I did. At this point in time, I'd already canceled my next load. I had 3 loads booked behind that load. I canceled my next load, and I had already made the decision that if I could get the trailer fixed, I would go ahead and deadhead to the second load. I went to the TA. They had me in there for about 4 hours, and then they informed me that the hole was too big for them to patch. And by this time, it was like, I don't remember, 6:30 in the evening or whatever. So getting a hold of trailer maintenance was next to impossible. So fortunately for me, I wasn't far from the house, so I went to the house. And then Friday morning, I got up. Or was that Thursday morning? I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday morning. I think it was Friday. Yeah, Friday morning. So at this point in time, I have now canceled the rest of my loads. I got a hold of trailer maintenance, and they got me lined out to take the trailer to a shop. So I took the trailer to a shop and dropped it off. I called trailer utilization to see if I couldn't get me another trailer. Best thing that they could do was put me on the list with everybody else, which in my opinion is BS, because I already had a trailer and it was damaged by a customer. So needless to say, I didn't get another trailer until my trailer was repaired. The repair shop actually repaired my trailer faster than trailer utilization could find me a trailer, which was several days into the next week, into this week that I'm currently on. So anyway, that's how my week turned out. Not so great at all. Like I said, I normally don't deadhead that far to go get a load, but I will deadhead to get out of an area. And typically I've got other loads planned out behind it, and that's how this one was. I had loads planned out. It would have still turned out to be a pretty decent week, but you know, you can't control everybody, so that's part of it. Some things happen. You just got to deal with it. You got to keep rolling. Took a L for the week, and now we're back up and running, and we got to make up some ground. So that's where I'm at. I'm actually down here in the dreaded Laredo, but I'll tell y'all about that on next week. So, but like always, I know I'm starting to ramble and just not talk about nothing now. So hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and like always, rubber side down, shiny side up. Y'all stay safe.